Hey my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Overwatch, Sombra, and all the crazy stuff coming with that. Before we do get any further into the video though, I do have to apologize, as I'm unfortunately coming down sick. Just the stress and the busyness and all the craziness and the lack of sleep and everything over the past couple weeks I think has caught up with me. Now that we finally started to mellow out, my wife pretty much crashed and got sick almost immediately. Night after my dad's funeral, when everything started mellowing out, she got sick almost immediately that night, and I think I'm getting sick from that as well. So I'm going to do my best to power through this and make this hopefully as cohesive, coherent, and not as groggy and nasally as possible. But all that out of the way, so we have a new Overwatch hero coming. We talked about before, Sombra. She was released at BlizzCon as far as information on her, so we know her moveset. We know what she's all about. We saw a little bit of a cinematic clip. I couldn't think of what that was called for the life of me. So we know a little bit about her backstory. Overall, very cool looking character. I think it's pretty nifty, personally, that she is of a Latin American or Hispanic origin. I think that's really cool. Again, seeing a lot of different and diverse heroes in Overwatch here from different backgrounds and stuff like that. I think it makes the game feel very vibrant, and at least to me, that's where it becomes important, and I'm enjoying that. But now, I do not unfortunately have any video footage of Sombra for one simple reason, and that is when I had access to the PTRs, I believe it is down now, I still had family over, and I didn't think about recording it at all when I was playing it, simply because I was just goofing off for a little bit to pass time. So I do apologize about that, and of course that is my own fault. Now that I've wasted 2 minutes of this video, we're going to head and get into what I think of Sombra. If you made it this far, thank you for bearing with me. Sombra as a hero. How does she play? What does she feel like? Is she strong? Is she not? Is she overpowered? Well, she is a lot of fun. She is a heck of a lot of fun. She's very agile. She's very quick. Her moveset is really cool. It does feel very unique. It feels very fluid. At least, again, to me, I played about 5 or so matches with her on the PTR. She is a great, just ton of fun. I guess let's start from her basic weapon. Her SMG, she does carry just one of them. It feels very strong up front, which makes sense, obviously, since it is an automatic weapon. It's not going to have the accuracy of a pistol or anything like that, but up close, it's very strong. As of right now, last I played with it anyways, I was tearing through Roadhog, basically. Like, I was almost killing Roadhog with a single clip, which is a big deal because, again, it's pretty easy to sneak up behind him, but of course Roadhog isn't exactly a small target either, so it's easy to get up there and get a lot of damage up on him really quick, especially if you're good enough to land those headshots. So that in and of itself is going to be very, very valuable. Her stealth mechanic is interesting, and I think it was implemented into the game in just the right way. I think if it were any differently, it would be a little bit overpowered, but where it is now, I think it's actually in a good place, and I think it stays reasonably balanced, to be completely honest, because it's not as simple as like a stealth is in World of Warcraft with rogues. Stealth away, no one can hit you unless you have bleed damage on you or you happen to walk into an AoE attack. With Sombra, it's a little bit more limited, and there's obviously it's a very different game type and game style, so you can't just let a stealth work that way. And so that alone I think is really cool. Her ability to teleport to her little discus thingy, and I forget what that is called, but it creates a lot of really interesting opportunities for Sombra that I was noticing, and places that you normally can't get to unless you're Genji, Widowmaker, or Pharah, if you know, like, if you get your trajectory down. It seems like Sombra is going to be able to get to those places as well. And the skill cap on that seems to be a little bit high, a little bit tricky at first, because when you're launching the disc, it doesn't just teleport you to where it's at the moment you, like once you finally teleport to it, it teleports you to the place that it was at when you hit the teleport button. So I believe it's her E ability. You chuck it out there and then you hit teleport. If you're trying to get up onto a ledge, and you hit it too early, it's going to pull you up there and port you right before you get to the ledge. So it's not going to take you again to where the disc is when you teleport. It takes you there basically the moment you hit that recall button. So that alone, I think, adds some interesting mechanics to it, and I think that's going to set a precedent, I think, for separating the good Sombras and the mobile Sombras, as opposed to the ones that are just casually playing her and goofing off with her. I'm honestly really curious how I'll play with her, how I'll do, because she feels like a she's not quite Tracer, obviously, but she feels very similar, with a very different moveset and with a very different goal in mind. She is definitely the counter to a lot of heavy ults with her EMP thing that shuts down barriers and stuff like that, and then with her hack being able to hack in and stun people. Of course, the health packs as well. Big deal. I'm not necessarily going to say it's overpowered, because I really don't think it's overpowered, to be completely honest with you. But at least as it stands right now, it is a very interesting game mechanic, and I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out, because it does. I mean, anytime a new character enters the game, it changes the meta, it changes the gameplay a little bit. But with Sombra, to me, it seems like this is potentially going to be the biggest shift in play style and team composition and possibilities that we've seen in a long time, even more so than Ana. Ana was great, Ana was really cool, and I still love her as a support class. She's probably the only support class I enjoy playing, but she doesn't feel as game-changing to me as maybe I initially thought she would be. Maybe that's again because I was way too hyped about her. So to me, she was game-changing because it was the first support hero that I love to play, and so maybe that was me being naive and not being able to separate personal investment and stuff like that, rather than, you know, overall the big picture. But with Sombra, just again with the EMP being able to shut down ults, with, you know, her hack, because again, if you can hack into someone, I don't think it matters if they've ulted, at least from my impression of it and how it was functioning. So that's a big deal. Reinhardt is essentially going to have a hard counter, is what it feels like, to me at least, because again, being able to bust through those shields. Zarya is going to be a big deal as well. I'm trying to think what other characters. Winston, I would imagine, since he puts up that barrier. Again, 3 tank classes that are fairly heavy, and again, those barriers are what provide them with such utility. And again, Sombra is going to be the major counter to that. So I'm really anxious to get my hands on her a little bit more, especially once it goes live and stuff like that, and actually get some serious play in with her. It is worth noting that apparently the first professional players got their hands on her, and it was not pretty, apparently. I think they said she died within 4 seconds, so there was that. I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet. I probably will after I record this. I probably should have done that in opposite fashion, but there we have it. It is what it is, I suppose. Can't change it. But yeah, so I mean, there's just, again, I think the precedent that Sombra's going to set with the stealth, the being able to shut down ults, stun, hack the health packets, things like that. Again, I can very much see her as a character like Tracer, like Genji, that you're meant to get behind enemy lines and really trip up the enemy players. Because again, you're going to notice any good Genji is going to get behind enemy lines and start griefing the enemy team, picking off the healers, picking off the squishies and stuff like that, and causing enough distraction to where, you know, you have to focus attention back on him. So it's going to basically thin out the herd, essentially, and you can kind of start picking people off as they're straggling in and out. Same with Tracer, she can get back there and do the same thing. So with Sombra, I think is going to create a lot of the same potentials, but a very different gameplay style, obviously. And again, I just really want to see what she's going to look like. So competitive play should be interesting with her. Like I said, I really want to see how she's going to fare on the actual servers where not everybody's playing Sombra all the time and stuff like that, and not everyone's out to kill her or get her. In an actual, like, you know, play, once everything dies down, the hype has died down a little bit, and we actually see people get their hands on her, especially better Overwatch players than me. I'll be curious to see what they do with her. But that's all I got to say on this one. Really excited about her as a hero, looking forward to playing. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate you putting up with me in sick voice for this point, up to this point. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you next time.